Hi everyone. So are you paranoid about your Bitcoin? You can get this wristband. This report is by Alyssa Bereznak on Yahoo's new tech site. This wristband protects your Bitcoin. Well, it shows you what it's doing with your heartbeat, or it protects it with your heartbeat. No one can access it. So as I pointed out in my longer version video a few minutes ago, this looks really perilously close to someday going into the hand right there. And that is the right hand. Revelation 13. Okay, if the news anchor who flashed his Bitcoin gift certificate on air had it promptly stolen taught us anything, do you remember that? Some guy, he had a gift certificate and somebody ran up and grabbed it. It's that you need to be careful where you store your budding digital currency. Okay, this is suggesting that it's going to grow and you should get it. Some people think one Bitcoin is going to go up to $40,000 just because it's limited. But there may be a price to pay for having digital currency. On Tuesday, Toronto biometric startup Bionym announced a new and somewhat paranoid way to make sure no one else can access your precious stash, a wearable Bitcoin wallet that can be accessed only by taking your unique electrocardiography or ECG. You may have heard about the NIMI before, as it's been passed around the tech blogs. It's a high-tech wristband meant to act as a protector of many things aside from your digital currency, your credit card information, online logins, customer loyalty cards, frequent flyer miles, you name it. No matter what you've locked up behind the NIMI, no one can access it without your unique heartbeat. Isn't that fantastic? Everybody has a unique heartbeat. It works like this. You set it up in conjunction with a smartphone or a computer and then determine which applications, services, and brands have access to your identity. Every time you sign up for a new service, the service generates a unique key. You have the option to remove a company's access at any time. But do they ever let you go? Maybe it's like Facebook and you can't ever get rid of them. So here is a little demonstration, 1 minute and 42 seconds, about this gizmo. Authentication. Hey, did you see the chemtrail? Sorry, just want to see it. There it was. It's not a cloud, people. Yep, chemtrail. Clouds don't look like that. It's not a contrail either, contrail people. Don't try to tell me it's a contrail. Get NIMBY. Oh no, I just don't like this. Because this is artificial intelligence acting like they know us. Putting pictures on the wall, saying hello with your name. They don't really know us. Bionym's decision to integrate Bitcoin into its much hyped device comes... Okay, Bionym. I'm not familiar with their device. Just a week after the very popular personal finance service Mint launched a feature that allows subscribers to watch the value of their Bitcoins alongside their other investments. It's a signal that many a tech startup is banking on. It's a signal that many a tech startup is banking on the success of the still shaky currency. Aren't all currencies shaky? Maybe they should just call a new currency shaky. Shakies. As Bionym President Andrew D'Souza explains, requiring your cardiac rhythm for access to your currency is extra safe, as your ECG is much more difficult to replicate than your fingerprint, your retina, or just a text-based password. This is so fantastic that your heart has this unique way to identify you, more than your fingerprint. This is so fantastic. It's the size, the shape of your heart. It's the size, the shape of your heart, the orientation, how all the different muscles interact together. D'Souza told Yahoo Tech, it's an electrical signal that's based on your physiology and it doesn't change over time. And this is why transhumanists who focus on the brain won't succeed, in my opinion. Because if the heart is something like a brain, it can think. It has these, it has an electrical signal you can feel with your heart. You can feel with your gut also, you know, in your solar plexus. And our body has all these glands and hormones and everything that work together. Yet, transhumanists are focusing on the brain, strictly the brain. So something is going to die with their idea to live forever based on slicing up the brain or copying all neuro connections in the brain. D'Souza hopes that this level of security can help to stabilize Bitcoin, which is currently a $10 billion market, and make people feel more comfortable investing in it. They want people to get on board with this one world currency that is digitized, so that they can do the get everyone chipped, and then pretty soon the NIMBY will be implanted in your skin, because you could get that device wet, you could lose it or whatever, and you might, that could be a problem. We're trying to make this currency accessible to the average consumer in a secure and convenient form factor, D'Souza said. We're hoping that we can kind of be that enabling technology to help the currency take off. And so maybe, you know how these companies, they converge and swallow up each other. DARPA's probably going to come along with that, their tattoo technology, and link up with this somehow. Or Google. So what do you think, average customers? Ready to access some invisible currency with your heartbeat? Okay, now I just want to show you this about HeartMath. This company, it's an Institute of HeartMath, and they've been doing research on the heart for 20 years, and the truth is that we are made in such a way that, you know, our brain has electrical, communicates electrically with cells and the neurons, and our whole body, everything is communicating with it we are electrical beings, and our heart is the same. And we're created this way, and we should know that we have this immense architecture that is ourselves, and we shouldn't give it away to anyone. And we should pray to God to know it more and more, to use it wisely. That's why, in my opinion, every word counts, every thought counts, every emotion counts, every feeling counts, every action counts, and thinking is a first action. So it's really wise to think the right kind of thoughts. You know, God said to whatever is beautiful and lovely, think on these things and be grateful, and in all things give thanks. This is really the right way, and all the other laws, don't lie, don't cheat, you know, commit adultery. All these things keep people safe. And if we're going to be accountable for every single utterance of our mouths, it's better to bless people than to curse them. Man, there's a lot of cursing on YouTube. I can't believe it. People are just throwing out name calling and words. That is not promoting peace. You may not be dropping a bomb, but maybe it's just as bad. Anyway, here is Gregg Braden, and he's talking about the truth of the heart. And you might think he's kind of a New Age guy, but he's a scientist, and he's studied the body and different things. So watch him. It's really good. People should know this. Our heart has a brain.
Birds singing in the sycamore tree. Beyond any reasonable doubt, the new science is showing us that our hearts do much more than simply pump blood through our bodies. We can build a machine to do that. An artificial heart will pump the blood. But we now understand that our heart does much, much more than simply pump blood. That our heart literally has its own brain. It is called neural intelligence. And it is the heart intelligence that our ancestors understood that gives new meaning to the role of the human heart in our lives today. Our world, our physical world, is made of fields of energy, electrical fields and magnetic fields of energy. I remember as a scientist understanding the role of electrical and magnetic fields in our bodies and our world, and thinking, if we were ever going to interact with our bodies, if we want to heal our bodies, we want to create peace in our families or our communities, we must speak to the fields that connect all things. We must find a meaningful language, a non-verbal language that communicates with the stuff that this world is made of. And this is precisely the essence of our most ancient and cherished spiritual traditions. It is called the great secret of our past. It's the secret of the traditions that are taught in the monasteries of the mountains of Tibet, little villages in the Andes Mountains of Bolivia and Peru, all through the American desert Southwest and North America, and many of the ancient Asian traditions, as different as they are from one another. The bottom line, the through line, is that they're all speaking about an experience, an inner experience that we have focused on our hearts that allows us to deal with the changes beyond our bodies in the world around us. But what our own science now is showing us is that while our brain is certainly important, and when I was in school, my textbook taught me that the brain is where the action is, that the brain is the master organ in the body. Well, interestingly enough, the brain's not the first organ that forms in the human body. It's the human heart. And one of the great mysteries is, what is it that triggers that first beat? In one moment in time, there is a mass of cells, and the next moment, something happens, and the heart begins to beat. Our own science today still cannot tell us definitively why our heart begins to beat, but it does, and it is the first organ in our bodies. And as the organ develops it begins to regulate the chemistry through the rest of the body. What we now know is that our heart sends the signals to the brain that trigger the chemistry in the brain that's released into the body. It's all.
So you can go and watch this yourself, Gregg Braden, Institute of Heart Math, and think about what he said. You know, it's not the brain. All these places are, okay, and this is October 7th, 2010, and just now, Obama has the Brain Initiative. The European Union is doing they're competing for brain knowledge, and who can build the first brain that can be uploaded into a robot or whatever. And they're missing out on this. And Gregg Braden doesn't mention Jesus Christ, but the fact is, and the reason I put this on here is because God made us with a heart, and people are trying to figure out, and it's all this, and there are all these spiritual traditions and everything, but the Bible does talk about what the Bible prophecies are coming true, and does talk about everything that's going on in essence. And so the best thing to do is to give your heart, mind, body, soul, and everything you've got in your life to the one who loved you so much enough to die for you. You have ultimate peace with this. Anyway, thanks for watching this, and look into it a little more. And they want to eventually steal your emotions, your soul, your heart, everything. And there's British Telecom, they've been working on a project since early 90s called Soul Catcher. They just want to invade everything and own everything, and you have to be on guard and not let that happen, and slip into it with getting the chip planted in you that will know everything about your body. Even that book in my previous video, it actually they had a control center on the back of the girl's on her back, in that black box that looked almost like the black cube of Saturn, and her emotions would be controlled by what she's reading in that book, which is beyond brainwashing. This is like emotion washing. Anyway, okay, this is how I feel about it. The transhumanists are going to fall short. They can't do it. They're not focusing on the heart, and the heart forms first. And the cells that start beating the heart, scientists do not understand even now how they start beating. But they're powerful, and they're charged because we are electrical magnetic beings. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Just see what Gregg says, couple more things.
All based on the way we feel. The electrical signal, excuse me, the electrical signal between the heart and the brain is the key to understanding this relationship. When we are in what is called coherence, an experience that is measured as 0.10 hertz, 0.10 cycles per second, when we're feeling the feelings that allow us to experience 0.10 cycles per second, that is when our coherence is optimum. That's when we're sending the optimum signal between our heart and our brain. That's when our brain begins to release life-affirming chemistry into our bodies. Healing chemistry, our immune systems are strongly enhanced. Our anti-aging hormones, such as DHEA, increase 100%.
So this is really true. And if you're calm, when you're calm and you're happy, you release endorphins, or happy hormones and things like that. So it's all about what you think, which causes you to release certain chemicals in your brain. And when everything is based on fear, or if companies want to control you by by triggering emotions in you for when you watch it, commercials on TV. They know how to do that with colors, with words, with images, everything. So that's why it's a good idea to get rid of your TV and be careful what input goes into your mind. And so a lot of subtle energies around. Even someone can say something to you that a compliment makes you feel really great. They've done studies on this. Or someone can say, "Oh, what happened to your hair?" And then you'd have this. It triggers kind of an awful feeling. So you have to learn to find out to stay on an even, whatever he was saying, the 10.00 hertz, where your brain and your heart is matching, so that nothing can move you. And there's power in stillness and being calm. And the Bible says, "Be still and know that I am God." And God doesn't want us to, He's not dying for our worship and attention so much, but He knows all those things like worship God alone, love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, all your strength. He knows that gets people right. Feel good when you do that. Makes everything go smoothly, and things go smoothly around you too. It just like harmonizes everything. So, okay, thank you for watching. But I believe this so much, so that's why I want to express it. Thank you for watching my video. Bye for now. God bless.